In this scenario, we need to break these names apart. They're combined first and last name. So one unique thing we can know is there's a space between the first and the last name. We're going to use this in some Excel functions to be able to figure out how to do this. The functions we're going to look at are one called length, right, left, and search. Down here we've got an example. The word Eau Claire is currently set up to be, it is one word. Now here we found out there was a length of 10. If we were to count it, here I've just typed these in, and we see sure enough there's 10 characters in Eau Claire, including the space character. We see the space character occurs at the first, second, third, fourth, at the fourth position. Now these yellow numbers have these equations. To find the length, H22 is set to look at G21, which is where our text is. Now here, if we go into this cell, we see the equation certainly is that. Hey, give me the length of this. So we could simply do that to here. We could say equal to the length, open the parenthesis, of this one. We would know that that's 13 characters. In the same way, the search function says search, and it asks the question, what are you looking for? Well, we put quote, space, quote, then comma, within what text? Well, we put G21, and that's how it did that. So if I take this name here, and I put it here instead, we see, we just have to wait for this little thing to go away. Okay. We'll paste down here to get it to move away. But we see there's 13 characters as reported, and the space occurs at the 7th one. So that's just one of those easy functions to do, and that's what we would put in this cell. Then we could fill down. That allows us to be able to find those names. So we know the length and the space. The rest is kind of a math with left and right, and we'll take a look at that in the next step. Now I'm going to use a couple of the other commands, which are going to be this left, right, and we're going to see how that works, and I've got it set up down in this example. Here we have the name Kim Jong. We've used the length function to determine the length in G30, as well as the space occurs at 5 and 10. And we see I've picked just the same size for ease. Now I've got the left command here I'm going to talk about first. I'm going to take a look at left. I've got it stored here. And one thing you can do when you double click and you go here, you can click on it, and up will come the help. So we're going to look at that help. We're going to look just at the left function, returns the first character or characters in a text string based on the number of characters you specify. So we're going to specify the text, and then we're going to say number of characters. Well, an example here, left A2, this would be A2, is got the word sale price in it. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that would just give us sale. Left A3 would just simply give us the first letter, but we're going to ignore that one. So here we see in this formula, I've got left G30, that's where Kim Jong's name is, but now I put a 2 there. Well, if I put 5 or 6 there, comma 6, you see we get 6 characters. But we don't want to type a number in, because then we have to do it for each one of these names. So if I look at this, the length is 10. Where is her first name? Well, it's 1 before the space. So why don't I do this? I go, well, instead of 6, I'm going to go 5. And you say, wait a minute, that's going to give me the space. You're right. So I'm going to tell it to subtract 1 from there. And now we get Kim. It's just 4 characters. So that's the left function. When we look at the right function, it's very similar, where it's saying it's going to give us the right characters, but it's starting on the right end of the string. So again, we'll see an example, and here it went 5 characters, and we went 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it returned that. Well, I still am interested in the name, so that's going to stay the same. Now, where is that last name? Well, I mean, I can do 3 and put a number in, and you see that gave us the ONG. But how can we calculate where that name is? Well, we know the length and we know the space. 1, 2, 3, well, 10 minus 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 should work. Let's see if that works. So we're going to go in here. We're going to edit the formula to say not 3. We're going to go, it's going to be, we're going to take the length minus the space. And we'll put that in and see what we get. There we go. We've got the first and last name. So that's what we're going to have to do on this here. We're going to have to do the same. So that should give you what you need to do for this problem. Okay? Because then the length and space search, I did that down here. You've got that equation you saw. You know how to get the first name. You know how to get the last name using these examples. All right, enjoy.